Hey, what's going on, my hungry friends? Today, we are going to make my farmhouse berry crumble. You're gonna love this, folks. Let's make it. All right, my hungry friends, so we're gonna go right into making this amazing farmhouse berry crumble, okay? So right before you, we have a trifecta of berries. We have blackberries, blueberries, and raspberries, okay? Find them in your local grocery store. It's like in this little plastic little shindig that they put out so you can easily rinse it off. But I have all three of them inside this bowl, okay? We have flour. Today we're gonna be, it's gonna be calling for 2 cups of flour. Okay, we're going to be doing 1.5 cups of granulated sugar. We are going to be doing cornstarch, about a tablespoon or so. Okay, we're also going to crack it up a notch, and we're also going to add in our baking powder, and then obviously cornstarch, right? We're going to be doing 2 tablespoons of vanilla extract, and we're going to do a splash of apple cider vinegar. And more importantly, we're going to be using 2 egg yolks. Not eggs, 2 egg yolks, okay? So let's go ahead and start with step number 1. What we're going to do is we're going to get our little handy dandy bowl, and we're going to measure out carefully 2 cups of flour, okay? So now the next step what we're going to do is we're going to add in a little bit of our baking powder, okay? And we're going to add in salt. Always add salt, right? Love salt, okay? And then we are going to add in our cornstarch later. All right, so once you have added in that, we're going to add in 1 cup of granulated sugar. Okay. All right, now we're going to add in 2 tablespoons of vanilla extract. Measure carefully, folks. 1, 2. Okay. Okay, we're going to add in a little bit of apple cider vinegar. Just a splash. Measure carefully. Okay. Then we are going to add in 2 egg yolks. Actually, let's do this. Okay, and what we're going to do is I have this little thingamajigger where you can get all the egg whites off. Okay, it's almost there. I actually like this little contraption, you know. Okay, that's 1. And they always say twice is always nice. Oh, there's the second one. Okay, here's the second egg yolk. Let's go ahead and get all the egg whites out. And we will not be using that. You can actually save the egg whites for later if you make, you know, if you're a healthy person and, you know, eat these for breakfast. All right, there's 2. Okay, and you know, Chef Rollo, I totally forgot the butter. And we have them here. But let's go ahead and give this a quick mix real quick. Okay, and this is going to be the real cool part is when we factor in our butter. It's going to give it that, you know, clump taste or feel to it. And I think it's remarkable. Generally when you're, you know, grinding your butter into this, it actually looks pretty cool as it's going into the flour. But let me show you what it looks like, okay? So what we're going to do is you're going to take, and this recipe calls for 1.5 sticks to 2 sticks of butter. I'm going to put about 1.5 sticks or so in it, okay? What I'm going to do, I'm just going to grind this down. And it's really easier to do this when it's frozen, because the moment it gets to room temperature, it's impossible to do this. And when you're applying the butter, this will help us get that crumble that we want. And I'll show you what it looks like. All right, so we are about a stick and a half there. Okay. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna toss this all the way around. And you know, when I was growing up, I've taken a baking class when I was in high school, and I had always been terrified on making desserts. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't do this. But as time went on, I started learning all these other recipes. And let me tell you, this is actually one of the first recipes that I had learned, and I added my own little twist. Okay? And even till today, am I still terrified? Absolutely. I'm a protein guy. But you know what? You're gonna love this berry crumble. Okay? So what we're gonna do is, now that we have it all together, we are gonna add in a half a cup of sugar into our 3 berries, okay? Measure carefully, folks. It's about half a cup. Even though we have sugar in this, into our batter, we're gonna have to have sugar into our fruits, okay? Then what we're gonna also add is, we are going to add in some cornstarch. You can use a little bit, a lot. This one's gonna call for about a teaspoon or so. And what it's gonna do is it's gonna make it a little thicker on our filling, okay? Now, what we're gonna do is, we're gonna take our fruit and we're gonna mix it up. Make sure you're not damaging the fruit, okay? You're kind of like layering over the sugar. And all we're doing is crystallizing the berries, all right? And again, the cornstarch is gonna give it that much extra pop and thickness and consistency that we want when our pies are done, all right? All right, so it looks like this. Go ahead and take a look right here. All right. All right. Again, try not to damage it. You're just laying the fruits over it. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna get our hands dirty, okay? Kind of like going to the playground. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna kind of tighten this flour up and grind up all the little tiny bit of liquid that we actually do have. And we're gonna marry that within our butter as well. Okay, and see how we're actually making crumbles out of this? This is what we want. This is what's gonna give us this amazing crumble. It smells fantastic, kind of like a dry whipped cream, if you will. Actually, Crystal, come over here. I'm gonna have my cameraman smell this so he can smell exactly what I smell. Smell that good?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what is like a vanilla, right?
Totally.
So kind of like a vanilla whipped cream type of texture smell, but obviously it's dry ingredient. Okay. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna get our pot, right? And before we start the base part, we're gonna turn on our smoker, okay? So we're gonna turn on our Memphis grill. We're gonna be using apple wood today. And this is the reason why I call it my Farmhouse berry cobbler, because we're actually using a grill. Okay, so we're gonna get this up to 275 degrees. Okay. We're gonna go indirect. Oops. All right. And then now we're gonna go ahead and make the base of our ultimate berry crumble. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our berry crumble batter and we're gonna coat the bottom of our dish, okay? We're gonna use about 50 to 60% of it. And so you're gonna cover right about an 1/8 to 1/4 from the bottom up. And what this is gonna do is this becomes our base, if you will. Here's our base, and what I like to do is, obviously you want to evenly distribute it all the way around. Even though we got some crumbles in here, kind of break it up just a little bit, leaving some crumbles around. But what I like to do is, even though I was using our measuring cup earlier, I kind of like to pat it down a little bit, okay? And what it does is it kind of makes that wall type mirror to the bottom of that dish that we're using. And if you compact it, it really seals the deal down there. Okay, looks pretty solid, right? All right, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna spoon in, or I should say fork in, our berries. You can see. And we're just gonna spoon that all the way around. And I should have used a little bit of a smaller dish, but that's okay. This is what I had today. Oops. I think I lent somebody my other one. That's okay. All right, looks pretty good, right? All right, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the rest of the berries, the rest of the batter, and we're just gonna drizzle over the top. Kind of like the grab, twist, squeeze, release method. All right, perfect amount. All right, so now we're gonna put this on the smoker, 375 degrees at approximately 45 minutes, okay? Have a good one, 45 minutes later. Oh, look at that, look how it risen. And it rose. Yes. All right, let's go ahead and take it off. It is hot. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to let this sit for a couple minutes, let it get cooled down. All right, my friends, this is the moment we've all been waiting for. So it's been out of the smoker for about 7 minutes or so. I wanted to ensure that the juices of, the berries kind of, married together, and it's not as runny, okay? So now what we're going to do is, what I like to do is get like some type of ring of some sort. You can get a cookie cutter ring, or just use whatever you have. Just use a spatula if you have to. You're just going to eat it anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just, okay. Let's go around it. Oh, this looks fantastic. Okay, it's still a little hot, as you can see. Look at that. And we're going to add another touch to it. We're going to add some vanilla bean ice cream. I love vanilla bean ice cream, probably my favorite. When I was growing up, it was strawberry for me. So, we're going to take our handy dandy scooper. And then, okay. And what I like to do, take a minute. Okay, my hungry friends, now this is the point we get to our backyard privilege. This is nothing more than us being in our backyard, and we're having the privilege to eat exactly what we did. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a bite. Get some of this ice cream, but more importantly, I want to get this berry. I wanted to burn my mouth now. Come here, you. Let's do it. This almost beats better than a massage. Okay, it's fantastic, folks. What I'm tasting, definitely the texture of the berries. I could taste, obviously, the sugar. It is sweet. I am tasting those berries, of course. That crumble is amazing. The vanilla is actually coming out, and you can smell the aroma coming from this dish. Okay, so, I like to dig into this, but I'm going to do this off camera so that way my camera guys can easily dig into this thing. But listen, folks, if you like what you saw, please don't forget to ring that bell and subscribe to our channel. But until next time, I'll see you soon. Have a great one, folks.